jobs, introductions, resume, to technical skills, to the subject, to the core knowledge. So you're all struggling with the same, and that brings an amalgamation of these skills makes your interview skills. So welcome students for today's session, and today's session is nothing but all about interviews. Now when you need the most the most guidance on on interview skills and how to prepare for the same, so VCCPD team has made your journey more easy by introducing this interview skills session for you all. So first of all, I would like to congratulate you throughout the journey. You have been supportive. You have been working really hard during this pandemic. So this is we would like to extend our heartfelt wishes to you all. So in today's session, let's understand the concept of interviews. I'm sure we have already discussed during our sessions, during our training. So many people are telling you about how to prepare yourself for interview skills and how to go about it. But what we have done is we have brought these questions exclusively for you, where you really struggle a lot while answering, and we do not want any stone unturned for you to get selected in the company. So for that what we have done is I have tried to answer 6 major questions, which you will maybe 80% chances are there that you will get these questions during your interview sessions. So let's see first, the first question that I'm 100% sure that you will get this question. Introduce yourself or describe yourself in 3 words. So when I say introduce yourself, I'm sure this question was really a fun while answering. Like you all hold your breath and go in one go, ma'am, I'm from this, that, those happened, and then you relax. So introduce yourself, majorly what happens is a person or a recruiter wants to know how well do you know yourself, right? How well do you explain yourself? There is no reason behind asking it, but then just how really you feel about yourself and what all information that you can gather for yourself. That is what introduce yourself. Now there is one rule that you need to follow is you start your introduction with your name, but if your interviewer has already initiated your name while looking from the resume, there is no need to introduce yourself starting with your name. For example, if I say, okay, introduce yourself, Akash, so Akash will not again go back and say, okay, good morning sir, my name is Akash. Akash has already been introduced. So what all things that you will be talking about while giving your introduction? First of all, your introduction would not go beyond 90 seconds. 90 seconds is more than sufficient to talk about yourself, right? Now what all information you will be sharing? You will be sharing your academic details, your chronological order, like you are doing your BTech degree from AKTU, from so and so branch. Now there is no need to talk about your percentage here, right? 12th what you did, 10th what you did, it is already been mentioned in your resume. So you can talk about your highest degree in your academic details. Then you talk about your technical strengths or technical skills, right? You will only talk about those skills in which you really feel that you are really good, right? And you're confident about it. Do not mention such kind of skills wherein you have like 1% of doubt, or maybe you feel that if this question is being asked, you can stuck somewhere. So first impression is always the last impression. So always try to include those technical skills in which you are very, very confident. Why? Because when you say I'm good at, let's say now I say my technical strengths are I'm good at Python. So there is a possibility that you could get the question from Python. So the basic idea is the recruiter doesn't have the set of questions for you, but the questions will only come the interest that you show to your interviewer. Now if I have mentioned Python, Java, SQL, so I have the possibility that I will get the questions from these particular skill set area. So when you're introducing yourself, so include only those technical skills in which you are very, very confident, right? After that, what you can talk about is how you as a person is, right? For example, I'm adaptable, I have good leadership quality, persuasive in nature, I have excellent decision making power, I have good interpersonal skills. So when you talk about these skill set areas, and you believe it to be, so then be ready for one situational based question out of the interpersonal skills that you mentioned during your introduction. Sorry. For example, if I say I have excellent leadership quality. Now, how can I prove that I am a good leader unless I have one situation ready for myself that, because of these reasons, I can call myself a good leader. I have handled a team of 4, right? And I have an excellent persuasive power, right? Before a good leader, I am a good team player, right? So all these experiences are must when you talk about your interpersonal skills. Many times I have seen my students, what they do is they talk more about themselves, but when it comes to cross questioning, so what happens is they fall across and they are not able to answer. So my dear friends, what happens is there you leave a very a minute mistake, and there are chances that you lose your impression in front of recruiter. So this is my genuine request for you all, that only mention the skills in which you are comfortable, because my friend X is a leader, that is not sure that if I would be also a leader, right? So I don't have to copy my friend's skills or something that I'll find it on Google. Google, please tell me about my skills. No, this is something which you need to take care of and you need to understand. Clear? Now what happens is here the next question can also come to you. Describe yourself in 3 words. Now this is a question wherein you will be talking about you in 3 words, which might be very difficult, but if you explore yourself, you will find the answer there. For example, if I say I'm reliable, innovative and adaptable. I'm logical, adaptable and smart. So what are these? These are the 3 skill set areas which describes me as a person. Now you should also be ready, if you are mentioning these 3 skill set areas to describe yourself, then you should have one answer ready. Then how can you call yourself a reliable person? What makes you reliable? What are the challenges that you faced across while you were proving yourself as a reliable resource? So what all informations you are sharing with the recruiter, make sure you know each and every aspect of it. Do not play with your words. First, do not make any kind of false commitments. No show off of your skills. Just be what you are. If you lie to the recruiter, trust me students, they are smarter than you. They have experience of more than 10 to 15 years. They can catch you in a second. So it is my genuine request to you all to please, be real, as real you are, right? And I always talk about that the more real you are, the more number of chances you to get selected, right? Now let's see the second question. Now the next question says, walk through your resume. So while I was interviewing my students, while your interview process was going on, I asked many of my students, what is just walk through your resume. So many of you got confused, ma'am, what are you asking, walk through your resume? Are we really need to walk towards our resume? No. So when I say walk through your resume, that means you have to take the recruiter along what you have really written in resume. For example, the information that you have mentioned, do you really know them? Do you really know what are your technical strengths? Do you know what are your achievements? Do you really know what are your extracurricular activities, right? So this is something what you really need to mention while you will be talking about walk through your resume. Okay, before that, I skipped one point in introduce yourself. So you will be talking about your academic details, your technical strengths, your interpersonal skills, and you can end up by telling about your hobbies. That's all. If you feel that you need to talk. Second, you can also talk about your achievements if there is something really wonderful about you. For example, if you have won some international, national certificates, or maybe a project which was really a great project. So that is something what you can mention in your introduction. But yes, not too much, only the gist of them. You will be talking in brief only when your recruiter is asking for the same. Now, where do you see yourself in next 5 years, 10 years, 7 years, whatever the recruiter is asking. So when I say where do you see yourself in next 5 years, so here comes in the SMART goals. I'm sure when we were doing goal settings, so I have always talked about SMART goals or smarter goals. So when I say SMART goals, you have to actually focus here when you're talking about where do you see yourself in 5 years, you will be talking about the smart goals here. For example, how specific you are is your goal measurable, is it attainable, right? Do you think they are relevant, or they are time bound, they are also very time relevant? If it is not, then your this answer will be incomplete. So when I will be talking about this question, I will be taking care of these aspects, that my answer should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant and time bound. For example, if somebody asks me, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'll say, okay, I'll be the CEO of XYZ company. So this is unrealistic one. Why? Unless it is owned by one of my relatives, could be the chance that I would be the CEO of the company. But if I check on the realistic measures, so definitely it cannot be the answer. Why? Because for being a CEO, I have to first complete my 10 to 15 years or maybe more than that to reach to that particular designation. For example, if I would like to be maybe a senior manager, that way also I have to complete the journey of 7 to 10 years. Then only I'll be able to be a manager. So whichever position or whichever goal you are targeting on, first let's check these things before you answer them. Correct? Now, let's see the fourth question. Why should I hire you? Right, this is again a very, very important question, that why should I hire you? Because why should I hire you? Because what all technical skills you can actually relate yourself to the to the JD that has been mentioned, and your technical strengths and your learning power, or your enthusiastic nature. So amalgamation of all, you can answer why should I hire you. You can hire me because I have these technical skills, I have the project relevant to the skills that I have mentioned, right? And I have really successfully completed all those things, right, which makes me a perfect combination of technical skills and interpersonal skills. Maybe, sir, that would be the answer to why should I hire you, right? So the more realistic you are, more logically you are, you can actually give this answer in more I would say organized way, for that matter, right? Now, under what circumstances you will leave the company, right? This is again a very important question. Under what circumstances you will leave the company. So now here my answer would be, now this question could be answered that you will not say I would like to leave the company because now I believe that I would like to switch to other company. Now what are the reasons of you to leave the company? Maybe it could be your personal growth. You are feeling saturated, so, or maybe you are finding there is no growth of improvement, right? So the company should not be a reason to leave the company. It should always be wherein you are feeling that your personal growth is really not happening, and you are feeling under pressure, or not maybe under pressure, you are feeling that you are not growing as an individual, right? So that is the answer that you can give while answering under what circumstances you will leave the company. Right, you can actually answer, sir, what the kind of project that I'm getting, right, is really not fulfilling my needs, or maybe I'm not career wise I'm not growing, or my personal growth has been stopped. Because you cannot say that the company is not able to fulfill all my expectations. No company will fulfill all your expectations. Could be personal, could be professional. Maybe some would need the good ambience, and somebody would want a perfect project. So everything can't be fulfilled by a single company. So be very, very intelligent what you are answering and how this will be reaching to the recruiter. Now, what is your expected CTC? So here CTC is already mentioned on the JD. When you get the JD, right, or maybe the profile that you get from the recruiters, CTC is already being mentioned. But still, if this is not mentioned, right, so what you can answer, you can say the best in industry, right, or best of industry norms. Do not quote any figure XYZ, right? So most of the chances are there that 99% chances are there that CTC is always mentioned on your the profile that you get from the company, right? Apart from these things, please be ready with the 3 Qs. Right, so your interview process is always focused on these three Qs. One is LQ, second is IQ, and third is EQ, right? So IQ is checked by your kind of technical skills you have, the kind of knowledge you have about your subject, right? So this is what they can actually assess with IQ, right? This IQ can be assessed with your technical skills and the intelligence, the kind of the kind of answers you are giving logically, that ways. Then we come to LQ. LQ is your learning question. So for example, in last 6 months, how have you updated yourself knowledge wise? This is something that they would like to know, right? In LQ, the more you learn, the more the kind of attitude you have to learn things, right? And how passionate you are to learn and adapt new things, new technologies, new skill set areas. The more you learn and the more you become, I would say, fruitful or maybe the efficient resource for the company. So this is nowadays a very, very important factor you to get recruited. Now the third factor, which is very important, is your EQ, right? EQ is nothing but your emotional question. For example, emotion question means what is your attitude, right? Are you really passionate about what you are answering? You're really passionate about the role that is being offered, and what is your mindset? Are you too greedy? Are you very, I would say, straightforward? Or maybe you have very negligence kind of attitude? No. So you have to have the positive attitude, right? So this is what is must for any interview process to happen, right? So amalgamation of these three will lead you towards the job. But trust me, LQ and EQ is very, very, very important for you to get selected, right, students? Please make sure that whenever your time is scheduled for the interview process, you reach, now you're not reaching, you log in on time, you're in best of your attires, you are with best of your smile, the confidence that you throw, right, and the passion that should be seen, and that hunger of getting job should be seen, right? And try to get more of the knowledge. Do not lose in between. If you're feeling that you're not able to answer, say excuse me sir, or maybe sir, maybe the next question, but definitely if I'm meeting you next time, I would have the answer for the same. But do not leave any stone unturned to get recruited, right? Just do your best. Just put in more of your efforts. In case you fall across any question, we are there for you. You can reach us anytime for that matter. Only what we wish is you all get selected, you all reach heights, and this is what we actually strive for and look for. So resting my session here, I would like to congratulate you all. I would like to wish you all for your bright success. In case you have any problem, write us back. We'll try to help you as soon as possible. Thank you so much, students. All the best. Thank you.